Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everybody? Do, 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 do. Yo, yo, yo. What is up with people? All right. Uh, do. Welcome in, everybody. I don't. Yeah, I'm not live on. Okay. Just Twitch at the moment. All right, we are here on the beta. Thank the Lord, we are here. We have finally arrived at our destination. We did a little bit. I played around with it a little bit the other day. I didn't get too into it, but today we're gonna be getting into it a bit more to try to figure out what the rotation is. Also, get the UI. The biggest thing that I'm worried about is the UI and how it works. I know there's obviously some add-ons that I'm not going to be able to use or anything. I tried to bring up CurseForge and apparently it wanted to go to browser. Nice. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess we're kind of screwed on the add-ons part. I don't know what add-ons are going to actually start working. Now, the biggest thing that I have noticed that is different is obvious that Feral Frenzy and Frantic Frenzy are the same thing. I guess it's just basically for if you want to solo or multi-target, right? That's my assumption. So Feral Frenzy attacks one target 5 times, and Frantic Frenzy flickers to nearby targets in front of you 5 times, and clawing all enemies around them for a little bit of damage, physical and bleed damage. So that is huge. So we're gonna test that out a little bit. The only thing that kind of does suck in general with the rotation that I think is going to be different, because so far pretty much everything is the same, is that I think, well, so they moved Moonfire to be usable in cat form near the end. It's not over here anymore. That's where Sudden Ambush is, which is fine, whatever. But so we have to use Swipe. There's no Ravage. But anyways, the Moonfire, and then they have this new ability called Chomp. Chomp your target. It's only usable when you have less than 30% energy. I don't really know if it's worth it. I can't tell the scaling of the biting that much. Right, so I don't really know what the damage is supposed to look like for midnight because there is no damage meters yet. I have been hearing that they are updating it, and it does seem like it can be done. Or they already kind of have it in the works. So I am kind of curious on that. I think first we're gonna focus on the AI. Let me go to somewhere a little bit more not noisy, right? So I'll go on top of the castle, why not? Okay. So biggest thing is that we don't have a lot of the combat add-ons that we used to, and I think I should still be able to use Cell, which I think will be huge, to at least change my health and mana bars. So that will be kind of one of the main things that I change. For right now, we're gonna place all these cooldown things over to the side, and then yeah. Since I don't have Cell, it kind of sucks because I do want to use my stuff. This is kind of what I'm going for, though. It's going to be close to this, if not the same setup as what I have in retail. The difference is going to be the... I might move this down a little bit. Give a little bit extra space, right? And then I have... I have it set up like this. The reason being is because that way I can do the essential cooldowns. Actually, let's do... I can't move that. No. That's kind of annoying. That might actually be strong. I don't really care about that. Let's do these, right? I think Rake is a huge one. So I think the bleeds are going to kind of go crazy because there's just like random stuff. Only thing I don't like is, once again, it's kind of like rolling the dice on certain things. So we're going to use Moonfire. I think Moonfire would be better here, right? Where is... There it is. Thrash. I don't know why, but I feel like Rip would be better last. Oh, that does suck, right? Because I do need to be near... Let's save that real quick. I want to check something. Hold on. There's those, but where's that at? Oh, that's a different version of WoW. Okay, maybe we do have to go to the other ones. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I just want to see. Okay, that's huge. All right, cool. Now that is what I'm talking about, right? So we like that. This makes my life so much easier, though. Like, so much easier. What is... Oh, I don't care about that. Yeah, this is exactly what I have on retail, but it's an add-on. Or it's a weak aura. So, Blizzard, W Blizzard right there. I think that is so huge. Now, only thing with, is the picture, right? I want to move it. Why? Oh. What? What's... Oh, it's just edit mode. Gotcha. Yeah. That's huge. So, and then we got Moonfire. I want to say that that's it, right? Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, bum, ba-da, bum. That's it for that one. And to be honest, like, I think the biggest thing that people aren't understanding either is that I know they said they took a lot of spells out, but to be honest, there's not really. I mean, there was a little bit of Farrell's abilities taken out. I mean, there were a couple. To be honest, they kind of just made the rotation a little bit easier to understand. I think more than anything. I mean, yeah, there were abilities removed, but I just don't see the issue or the problem with what we're looking at right now. Rake, no. The crazy part is I don't even need to look at most of these abilities because I know where they're at on my mouse. The only thing I need to know is the cooldown on them. Like Incarnation, Frantic Frenzy would be like a major thing I would need to know, right? Of when it's off cooldown. But outside of that, it honestly doesn't even matter. Remove corruption is kind of useless, to be honest. These are utility cooldowns to... I don't feel like I need to know some of these. Because I can just look down, right? The only thing I care about is the stuff that's up, that goes up top, that doesn't, you know, have a cooldown. Like the Frantic Frenzy is 45 seconds, so I can wind up using that twice. Yeah, I would be able to use that twice before my second burst came up, right? First with the first buff burst, and then it would be up again. I would be able to use it 45 seconds later. That's a minute 30. My burst is 2 minutes. So then... So yeah, I would just... The only thing that I think I would change on a day-to-day is... What is this? Sparrow Frenzy cooldown reduced by 15 seconds. Yeah, I just wouldn't need Frantic Frenzy if I was doing single target. I use Frantic Frenzy for multi-target. And... What is it? I feel like that would be a must to use, to be honest. Blood Spatter would have to be, right? There's no way it wouldn't be. Absolutely insane to even think that that's a possibility to not use. Oh. I want to know the reasoning for this. Essential cooldowns. I don't think there's much else for me to track. There's the Moonfire, which... Why is... I thought I put Moonfire on there. Oh, I don't have it. I don't get it. Why wouldn't that be on there? Right? Why does it show... it's unavailable on the tracked buffs section in the cooldown settings. It's a that I want to track. So please fix. Thanks. Please fix. Thanks. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to not have Moonfire on there, to be honest. Let's do show and learned. Because yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You have to have it there, right? But you'll have it on spells. I want what is that? Go berserk 15 seconds while berserk, generate one combo boy every 1.5 seconds. Okay, I don't care about that. Yeah, there's not a reason for me not or to put anything else on there. It does suck that Moonfire is not on there, because it's kind of useless to track that, right? Because let's look at this. If I do Moonfire, what is? Oh, this. Huh? So it puts the dot on there that way. I'm confused. Why is it that it'll put it? That doesn't make any sense why I would put the dot there. What about break? Yeah, see, that timing is weird. The timing is off. It's literally 1 second off. All right. I don't think the utility cooldowns are necessary. Wait, diminishing returns is being tracked? Oh, I see. Whoa, hold on. Oh, but if I just turn, right, if I just take all these off, it doesn't show nothing. Okay, cool. I can handle that. I was like, why can't I turn this off? Like, I just gotta watch these things? It's stupid. So, at least we have swipe still. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets, deals 15% increased damage against bleeding targets. I mean, easy, right? Wonder what the reduced is. percentage-wise. Yeah, I mean, it just does something. Oh, fat rip. All right, now we don't need utility. I don't think we need ferocious bite. We don't need frantic frenzy. I don't want moonfire on there unless we did. There's that. They don't have. They don't have that because I don't have. I'm not spec'd in a convoke. I'm gonna have to spec into convoke just for the time being to get that, I think. Yeah. I think convoke could be huge. And then we're gonna go to. We're gonna make. Dream Elements with the 6 gifted. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. W sponsor. Enjoy those subs, everyone. All right, so Let's go, baby. $35% off 5+ gifted subs. Hey, let's go. A treasure train just started in your channel. Participants save 35% and 5 or more gift subs at level 2. A Biggie Sweats gave me a shout out to 652 viewers 21 hours ago. Was I streaming? I didn't stream yesterday. What? Well, appreciate you, Biggie Sweats. All right. So, we're going to fit 6 in here, okay? I think it'd make more sense to be... Can we do like... No, we can't. Okay. We need to make this fit. Okay, let's do 90%. What? Why is it that this one has to be 110? Whatever. I would like to save and exit. Okay. So we're gonna do a rake, thrash, thread. Oh my, what is that? What am I looking at right now? Oh, we don't have convoke on our bar. Rip, bro. Let's go ahead and just use it. Okay, so I didn't know. That's crazy. That's wild. Oh, God. Welcome to the Pride, everyone. That had... It's playing in my ear now. Okay, we're good. Oh my, maybe not. I have it turned off so you don't hear it again, but it's playing in my ears late. Is it gonna play again? It is. Okay, cool. Hype chest open. Pill girl emote. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're waiting for convoke to come back up in 3 seconds. And the rotation is pretty much the same. Honestly, the only thing is I can't even think of what it's called right now. There's certain things that I want to... Yeah, the rotation's it's such the same. There's not... Let's do that. Let's do Moonfire. Let's do that. We're gonna put Rake on, and then we're just gonna convoke because of... And then... Yeah, the Moonfire, it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed, like, soon. As soon as possible, if they can fix that, that'd be great, because and talk about these energy problems, though. My energy. Yeah. Okay, so that would be a multi-target, though. Should I do the boss? I would just switch out. I could put Feral Frenzy on 30 seconds with that, but do I really care about that? Probably not. So we would do... That's a must. That was there before. What was this one? Your damage over time effects deal their damage in 20% less time. That one's a must too. When an enemy inflicted by your rip dies, gain 10 energy and your damage dealt is increased by 5%. This is good for Mythic Plus. But this wouldn't matter in Raid at all. Because your enemies aren't gonna die like that to even get the buff. So that would be useless in this. I think having Lunar Inspiration would be useful in Mythic Plus and Raids. Just because Chomp, it's 20-second cooldown and it can be used under 30% energy, but I just don't think it's going to be worth the when you can have a buff on them at all times. The only problem becomes like the energy, but I think once you get enough like certain gear, I don't think it'll matter, right? First spice damage, that is a must. So we're gonna take that off because it's kind of useless right now, to be honest. Element of Clarity now triggers 30% more often, can accumulate up to 2 charges. That used to be there. So wait, Mastery increased by 2. That's obviously a must. I don't feel like we normally use that. Tiger's Fury increase your haste by 10%. That could be huge. We use, yeah. I think we used to use Sudden Ambush. Why do these have the same picture? Just out of curiosity. Does Tiger's Fury last 5 additional seconds benefit more than would Raging Fury or Tiger's Tenacity be better? 5 extra seconds, I mean, could be useful, I guess. I just don't know if it's like that worth it. I don't think, I see the issue. I feel like the energy regen would be super beneficial. This one's kind of normally blank. This seems like the build to go. I feel like that would be too strong. Damage dealt by Chomp and Feral Frenzy increased by 20%. Dread Swipe and Rake damage increased by 10%, and their critical strike, I think that's too strong to give up. That might be stronger than the other one. I think the Strike for the Heart is stronger than Claw Rampage. Because this is only during Berserk. This is all the time, so I'm going to be definitely spamming more of that anyways. Both of them together would be super strong, of course, but we don't have that benefit right now. Actually, can we do dungeons? I guess just the quest line. Rip. It's fine, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. A lot of this seems the same. The fluid form. The fluid form's okay. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't really use it like that. Don't really care about that. I don't really use Heart of the Wild either. Yeah, I wish... The only thing I wish was Moonfire would be, like, the bleeds. The only thing I, like, kind of, like, upsets me a bit. Because there's no Moonfire buff. I don't really care about Omen of Clarity being on there. Tiger's Fury, Berserk. I wish I could have... We need more... That's what it needs to be. Did they add that in the game? Lock action bar shutdown. We need... We need multiple bars for the cooldown manager. Mogo Station. We need beer. Yeah. Sure. We need beer. Do you play a monk? No, we need definitely multiple bars because there's other stuff I want to track, but I want to track it separately or like in a different spot, like the bite. Quasi has a good video on the patchwork manager he was doing. Yeah, I just don't know. The only other thing I could think of is if I put like... No, I hate this because once again, I'm limited on what I could do. So I used to have Apex Predator's Craving. When I would get a free bite, I would have it where it would say bite in big letters on my screen. But I can't do that. And I don't like that. Like, yeah, I could have it on tracked bars or the tracked buffs, but I want it to be, like, somewhere different. And I can't stick it on the utility cooldowns because it doesn't do buffs. I'll check it out later. Oh yeah, no, they don't have a bite thing that I know of. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want a separate bar, right? So, like, for the tracked buffs, I stuck right here. I had to do essential cooldowns right here, which is okay other than Moonfire. I wanted Moonfire in the tracked buff section, so it only showed when there's... So it only showed when there's actually a bleed or a dot on there, right? So it would make more sense to me. But now I have to have it on this one. I just don't like it. It's weird. So then I want I want to be able to have Wild Midnight killed your UI. Here's the fix. Is that the name of the video? Because I had to do a lot of weak war stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, I had to do a lot of weak war stuff, which, I mean, yeah, I could technically make it work. I could. I really could. But do I want to? Is the question. Because it's like right here, and it's like, But then I gotta have... I have to change it up again, because... Well, that's a good thing about the beta. If I can try to, I mean, you know, make a big stink about it, we can try to make some changes, you know? I don't know how likely that is, but it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna go to this. Who in their right mind needs 8 action bars? Who? Do you know anybody that uses all 8 action bars? Take some of those out. Put them in. Give them to us in the buff section, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? Give us an extra couple tracked buffs or essential cooldown sections. Like just 2. Give us at least 2 of each. So then we don't have to have it all bunched up together. Because now, I mean, because the only other... And it's weird that they have, like, different sizes, right? Wait, 1 second. Number... Like, the sizes are off. Like, what is this? What happens if it... I'm curious. Hold on. Let me go attack something real quick. Let me put these bleeds or these dots on it. And then... What are you talking about here? Yeah, see, nah. That alone messes with my eyes. But then I've got to have... That one we'll just do in combat, I guess. But that's so... yuck. It would have made sense if they did kind of do that, like with the add-ons and the weak ores, the companies, like, they could have, like, teamed up with them and at least given them, like, you know, something for the help or, you know, to implement their own thing. I think that would have been cool. This is so bizarre to me, though. They have different sizes. but yet they don't line up. That's another thing that's gonna irritate my eyes. The other thing is that, so the biggest thing that I'm gonna notice too is that with Cell, I'm gonna have my combo points here, and I'm gonna have an energy bar there. So I need to have some type of gap, right? Not the fact that there's an icon packing space of 2 and there's a narrow little gap between each row and column. Yeah. That is weird. Why does it on... okay. I was fully supportive. I'm fully supportive of them doing stuff. I'm cool with it, right? I'm cool with them changing things and wanting to implement it in their own game. But why? Why this? I'm like, I don't even know. I don't like, I don't, no, I don't. Stroke. Um, oh man. It's even worse because it does not center a line for the tracked buffs. So your left buff will always be the left icon. What? I will say I don't want them to move. I do like the thought process, right, of how they have it, because that's what I did with the weak auras. But okay, we might just have to watch this video we're about to do. I gotta watch this video now. While midnight killed your UI. Here's the fix.
beautiful, clean, minimalistic user interfaces from World of Warcraft for Midnight? Well, from the background footage that you see in this video, I beg to differ. It is possible to get a clean UI as of today going into Midnight Beta. Depending on when you watch this video, you might be just before Midnight Beta launches or during Midnight Beta, which a lot of you would have accessed if you bought a certain version of the Midnight expansion. Point is, if you're living under a rock, WeakAura announced that they're stopping development from Midnight. Elf UI has also confirmed that they are stopping development for Midnight as of now. And I'm pretty sure Plater is probably going down the same path. If not, it'll be a very watered down version of what we know from Plater. On top of that, as of the date of this recording, 9th of November, there is no working unit frame add-ons that works with Midnight Alpha or going into Midnight Beta. The reason is because everything that you like, Cell unit frames, Elf UI unit frames, Shadow unit frames, these are all unit frame add-ons that's based off the OUF framework. And if that's tech mumbo jumbo, just know it's broken. There is no available solution, which is why in the background UI that you see, the only thing that really irks me is the unit frames of the self, which is the player frame, and the target frame.
Okay, so I'm going to pause right there. He said cell. I know there's not a fix right now, but they better not get rid of cell. That right there, because I hate the classic look. Like, I don't want the picture there at all. Like, I don't even think they fixed anything of what we can. Yeah, like, I don't like how gigantic this picture is. It's such a waste of space. But anyways, back to...
Don't ask me why Blizzard didn't come up with a customization option like the cooldown manager that's supposed to replace WeakAura's. Don't ask me why there isn't an equivalent for, the Blizzard unit frames. I have no idea. And it seems like their communication could be way better on this point. But that's the point that I'll make in another video somewhere down the road. The point of this video is to help you. I'm doing my community service. Blizzard has broken everyone's UI going into Midnight. This is probably the quickest and dirtiest way I know of getting a minimalistic UI working, at least for Midnight Beta. Now, is it ideal? Is it my dream UI? Is it my perfect UI? No.
I'm watching this with my eyes closed.
But at least I could now
or my eyes covered,
having to go to the washroom to scrub my eyes every hour because I just can't stand playing the default Blizzard UI. So for this video, I'm going to hop in game and I'm going to show you. I will create a brand new Midnight character, which I suspect you will do the same when it comes to Midnight Beta. And we'll start from a completely blank character, completely blank user interface. And I'll show you the hackery and the scotch tape and the duct tape that I used to piece together a clean looking UI. So far, best efforts for Midnight Beta. And somewhere down the line, when Midnight launches, I'll make a more official video that goes into more details with the custom hackery of font and, textures and all that. But for now, let's just go ahead and create a brand new character. Blind of bad UI. So let's take this character who is blind from playing with bad UIs, and we'll set up everything from scratch. So we're in game, and this is the default UI that is supposed to replace all the minimalistic stuff that you've been used to in the past, assuming you don't customize it. So how do we go about fixing it? Well, this is with no add-ons installed, and let's start with maybe the basics. Let's talk about the hairy problem in the room, which is a lot of us relied on WeakAura's, some form of class pad. You can use mine or some others for your character's so-called heads-up display in the middle of the screen. Now you just have all these action bars because WeakAura is broken. This is the hairiest problem, and there's really two solutions that's possible right now on the alpha and beta. One of which I think is the inferior solution. No surprises, it's Blizzard's cooldown manager. And let me explain why. To give Blizzard credit, the cooldown manager has improved a lot, but it's still not good enough. And let me jump into a dungeon and I'll show you exactly why. Okay, so we are loading into the brand new dungeon Murder Roll for Midnight. And I'll show you exactly why the cooldown manager is not ideal if you are very particular about how your UI should look. Alright, so let's say I'm using Blizzard's default cooldown manager. But just know that even their cooldown manager is in flux. Everything is, susceptible to change and whatnot. Can these bots stop attacking the mobs while I'm trying to make a video here? Okay, anyway, we'll let them deal with it. The point is, you guys are probably familiar with this cooldown manager. But the point is, under gameplay enhancement is where you can find the cooldown manager. This is their $1 million solution of what's supposed to replace WeakAura's. And let me tell you exactly why it's not a viable solution for a clean UI for now. They might fix the literal problem I'm about to highlight. They might make it for launch, I do not know. One can only hope. But you see these things here? These are part of the cooldown manager. So when I use something like demon spikes, it's supposed to track when my demon spikes will be next up, right? If I use something like sigil of flame, it then tracks, okay, it'll be up in 28 seconds. So this is your typical kind of WeakAura setup, right? This is their version of it. And you can customize like the order of how you want the icons to be. You can drag and drop, which is intuitive. I'll give it to Blizzard. This is actually pretty good, better than WeakAura.
That's an improvement of what they had.
And then you can also say, I want to remove this from bar, and then it's gone. Right? So you can technically customize it, and they split it into essential cooldowns, which is this top big role, and utility cooldowns. Now, what are some big glaring problems that you see already? Firstly, so if you go into edit mode, you click on the cooldown manager essential cooldowns. You can see that the essential cooldown settings is super bare bones. Like, it's very inflexible. Let's say I want to display it not as a single row. I want to display it in, I don't know, 2 rows, right? So I split it by reducing the number of columns here. Okay, here comes the next problem. I only have 9 abilities to track. Click save. I'll just call it a demonstration of bad UI. So you can see, what if I only have 9 abilities? Then is this super janky thing where the first row has 5 icons, the second row has 4 icons, I can't even center align them. It's just super inflexible. And then, that's not the worst part. The worst part is you cannot reduce icon padding to 0. I do not know why. Like, the person who designed this probably has never used a WeakAura pack before. A class WeakAura pack would have no gaps between the icons. Now, you can customize for gaps in between the icons. You can in WeakAura, but at least give us the option. Right now, you can only put it at minimum 2. So maybe for some of you, you're okay with having gaps.
I see what that means. Okay,
between
so
icons, but to me, this is
if you did 2 rows, then you can't center the 4 with the 5, which makes sense. I think that's why. I think it's hard to even explain too, because like if I had kind of want to test something. What if I do these? And I did this. What the fuck? Okay, that we could probably work with that. Hold on. I just want to see something real quick. If I did. Oh, okay, cool. So with WeakAuras, the biggest thing that I did like about WeakAuras is that I could have a single ability do it, right? With this, it's just so tragic. The fuck am I looking at, bro? Yeah, there just needs to be more edit options. I don't know if they plan on fixing this. I'm assuming so. Because they have a lot of updates coming for add-ons, or not add-ons, but UI stuff. And messing with the UI already bugs me. And I finally got it perfect. And it's still just not there. It's not. It's not the same. I feel like it have to be like I don't like how small it is either. That's the other thing that bugs me. Just increase the size. The problem is it's not the same size. Like if I do 150 and I do like the 150 and 110 are the same. But they're not gonna align properly. Right, see? Okay. Will you detach whatever you're attached to? No, I need to do this side. I don't know anymore what I want to do. I just don't like having only one option, bro. I don't know. I don't even know. We're at a loss, people. They need to change. Don't worry, Q. Does he fix? Can he really fix
Honestly,
anything?
it really does. So that's the first problem, okay? Then the second problem is utility cooldowns is a separate role by itself, and then you have the same inflexible thing here, right? Where you can't center align them, and they have this very like awkward thing where I can't customize row 1 and row 2 separately, icon sizes and whatnot, which is a real pain. And while I value the idea of being able to drag abilities to be moved between essential cooldowns and utility cooldown, this whole setup is just inflexible. The only saving grace of the cooldown manager is the latest addition, which is the track buffs and kind of debuffs.
I like the tracked bars. I don't know what I would use it for yet, just because I've never really used tracked bars like that. So I'd have to get used to it.
So, for example, for Demon Hunter, I do not know why, but they basically had by default tracking of your buffs in a bar form, which is really from like the earlier days of, if you use the early days of LVY, this is how we track buffs. Most people have moved off this to tracking it via icons, but kudos to Blizzard, they allow you the flexibility, and this is the saving grace of the cooldown manager. This I think is usable. The track buff part is usable. So for example, as a demon hunter, I will be tracking demon spikes, tracking the number of souls, and I'll track my painbringer stacks, and then I can remove all these because I don't want to see them. Or maybe I should track immolation as well, so I'll chuck it here. Now the annoying thing is that this track buff bar, firstly, it doesn't snap to the center of the screen. Like Blizzard really needs to make it like snap centered. Like this is just basic requirement for any form of like UI customization. Anyway, icon direction growth cannot be set to grow center outwardsly. It can only be set to grow from left to right or right to left, which is really bothersome to me, okay? That's one thing. The other thing is, again, icon padding cannot be put to 0. And here's the other thing that really bugs me. Let's say I use Demon Spike, right? It's tracked here. Let's say I use Immolation Aura, it's tracked here, right? But what if I use Meta, it's tracked here? Now, see, when my Demon Spikes expires, my Meta Aura is still tracked in the same position. Like, it doesn't move to the left. This is not a dynamic way of tracking buffs. You see this gap in the middle? It really bothers me. But this is the best we can do because, you know, Blizzard hasn't thought of a way to make it dynamically grow center or left or right.
I do like that because that's what benefits me for my bleeds.
Which I believe,
but
they
I
eventually
understand
will,
why it
because
would
it seems like such a simple thing to
be
do.
ineffective
But the
for
point
other
is,
people.
the reason why I told you about the cooldown manager is because this is important, because we are only using a part of the cooldown manager to replicate the look that you saw at the start of this video. I have chosen to disable the essential cooldowns tracker, so I set it to visibility hidden. Utility cooldown, visibility hidden. Don't want to use it at all. Only thing I'll use from the cooldown manager is really the track buffs, which I will keep for now. So you can see that its visibility is always visible. You can set it to in combat if you want. And this track bar, I also set it to always hidden. Don't like it. So in summary, your utility cooldown, your essential cooldowns, your track bars, all these, I won't be using them at all. Okay, then your question might be, all right, so how the hell are you going to track your abilities in the middle of the screen? Okay, so this is where I'm glad action bar add-ons still work. Now, what is working for Midnight Beta that I can confirm is Dominoes. I suspect somewhere down the line, Bartender will work as well, but Dominoes is what I'm using for now. So go ahead, install the add-on Dominoes. So after you've installed Dominoes, and by the way, if you don't know how to spell it, it's to the top left of the screen. You can just search Google, CurseForge, WoW app, download the latest version. Okay, so when you install Dominoes, this is how it looks. The trick is, where your weak aura was previously tracking your abilities in row 1, row 2, etc., you're going to replicate that with an action bar. So after install Dominoes, you can type either /Dominoes, or you can just left click on this mini-map icon. I recommend using the former because I'm going to hide all these later down in this video. I'll show you how. But when you click on this configuration or you type the / command, all these things will pop up, which is great. What I want you to do now is, firstly, take the time to bind all your action bars. Meaning, for most people, you'll probably use something like only action bars.
It's
1
so
to
many
4.
action bars.
Some people even just use 2
Jesus
action bars.
Christ.
So I'll drag all these away. I wouldn't put them in the middle of the screen yet. So you see action bar 1, 2, 3, right? And the way you configure them is you right click on them, and then this will pop up, and you can set things like show empty buttons so that you know what you need to bind. So I'll show empty buttons for all of them. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this process, but you guys already know exactly what to do, right? Which is basically you drag stuff onto your bars. As you can see what I'm doing on screen here from my spellbook, yada yada. This is just a demonstration video, so I won't do all of them. Then you can type something like /KB, key binding mode, mouse over it and bind to whatever you want. Q, E, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want. Now, the next thing to do, then type /Dominoes again. This is where the magic happens. You want to take something like an action bar that you will never use, like let's say, call it action bar 13. I'm going to toggle on the grid so I can actually align it, because Blizzard doesn't give me the tools to snap, so I need to use my manual eyeballs. Usually you want to place your weak auras or your class HUD just underneath your character so that you can kind of have, you know, maximum awareness of combat and stuff like that. And then what I chose to do is I put 8 icons in my first 2 rows, which is similar to how I've always set up my class HUDs. And the good thing about having a dedicated bar add-on is you can actually remove the spacing here. Remove the padding, remove the spacings, and you can even set the scale, right? So let's say I want to set it to 80 or something like 85. Maybe it's too small, 91. Now see what happens when I actually drop my abilities onto this thing. So I'm in the process of dragging it onto my bar, and don't worry, I'll make it a bit fancier in a bit. I just randomly did it, okay? With a bit of hackery, you can actually skin them, but it's full of LUA errors now, so I won't go into like the full details of how to do it. It's a lot of like, again, duct tape and spaghetti codes that I cobbled together. Somewhere down the line, I'll release a more concise guide on this. But you can skin icons, so thankfully, when it comes to the actual launch, you can do it. And so this is the custom skin that I'm using for Midnight. This is kind of a homebrew. Again, more details will follow in the future. But you can see this is way better than if, let's say, I use a cooldown manager. Right, so let's say I unhide my cooldown manager. Always visible. All right, now compare this, right? Let's say I be fair to it. I actually put like it in a nice little grid like that. Like compare which one is a better class HUD, this or this. Like it's night and day. And the reason why this is ugly is because of the padding. And I don't understand why Blizzard doesn't want to give us padding 0. No idea why. But I really rather take things into my own hands, and this is the solution I came up with. So what you can do is slash dominos again, figure bar, and you use something obscure like 12. Right click on this. You replicate the exact same setting as what I did earlier. So spacing 0, padding 0, and I believe scale is 90. Yeah, 90. I think so. Actually, no, it's 91, I believe. 92? 92. And that's your action bar, the second row, right? Then, since we are here, we might as well do the next one. This is usually my third row in my class B chorus, right? And I can probably just use something like 4 or 5 icons. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. But the important thing is, again, spacing 0, padding 0. Scale can be way smaller, maybe something like 80 or 85, maybe.
The crazy
It's up
part
to you,
is he
right?
put.
So if I drag stuff onto my second bar, now
Hold
it
on.
looks way cleaner.
I'm pretty sure I saw this. He put the action bar 12. He's got padding as 2 and scale is 90.
That's your action bar. I think so.
But he thought
Actually,
he
no,
moved
it's
the other
91,
one.
I believe. It's 90. Yeah, 90. I think so. Actually, no, it's 91, I believe. 92? 92. And that's your action bar, the second row, right? Then, since we are here, we might as well do the next one. This is usually my third row in my class B chorus, right? It's again, or cleaner.
Yeah, so he
just
messed that
randomly
up a little
dropping
bit.
stuff to give you an example. And then you maybe have a utility row down at the bottom. I've not fully learned all my talents, so obviously I'm repeating certain abilities now, but you get the point. And so what you can see is that your normal action bars, where you normally press your keybinds, let's say I'm using Fracture, right? Number 2, you can see me spamming the keybind at the bottom here. When I use Fracture, my action bar is being tracked at the bottom. And if you folks been following my channel, you know I don't play action bars because you memorize your keybinds, right? You just depend on your weak auras to tell you whether your abilities are ready or not. So now it kind of replicates the exact same thing. All we need to do now is to hide all the action bars at the bottom. So we go to Dominoes again. And then what you can do is you can go to each bar and you can set fading. Under fade out, you set to 0, which means that it will fade out if you don't mouse over it or use or come into contact with them, basically. For everything here, you set faded opacity to 0. Now it's all gone. And voila, right? They're gone. Now, if I mouse over them, you can see that they're still here. So if I ever forget my keybind, just mouse over them. Now we will hide the very hideous Blizzard cooldown managers. Go to this, gameplay enhancement, edit mode, click on essential cooldowns, visibility hidden, and we'll hide all of these as well because they're terrible. Now, we will retain, however, this track bar here, right? This track bars, because we have no better solution right now than to use their cooldown manager for the buffs. At least for any DPS or tank, like let's say I use Demon Spikes, right? Or let's say I use the actual keybind 4, right? Demon Spikes duration is tracked here. If I choose to use Metamorphosis, which I did not bind, but if I just click it manually, you can see, oh, it's tracked here. Then if I use, this is my Immolation. Okay, if I use Immolation, you can see, oh, it's tracked here in terms of duration. Again, you see this annoying gap between buffs. Nothing you can do for now, but this is the best we can do, the least of all evils. And then how do you make everything come together is you go to edit mode, and then you can bring your player frame. And by the way, we are in dire need of better player frames. Blizzard, please let us configure our player
100%.
frames to make it like a, I don't know, a rectangle if I
Like
want.
Cell.
I really don't want to
Yes.
see circle icons of my portrait. I don't need to see that. But the point is, you can kind of reposition where you want these things to be. Okay, so that's pretty much like the baseline stuff, right? Then the other thing to fix is, before we talk about nameplate, let's fix some of the more basic stuff first. Minimap. Minimap is hideous. How do you fix that? You can download Leatrix Plus. It's what I've been using for my non-LVUI setup for the War Within. And it works for Midnight Beta and Alpha.
I wonder if does he
If you
show
need
it?
help
He does.
installing
Okay,
that,
it just squares it.
Leatrix Plus, how to spell that is to the top left. Type /LTP, and
I
you can
would-
see that under interface.
I don't have an issue with that. I would definitely do the square
All that is to the top left.
the square
Type
minimap.
/LTP, and you can see that under interface, I've checked enhanced minimap, enhanced tooltip. Check these. They will ask you to reload. Go to enhanced minimap and check hide add-on buttons. Square minimap, check this. And this converts your minimap into a square. Now, if you scroll back to the start of this video where I showed you my so-called final UI entering Midnight Beta, you'll know that it's a lot cleaner than this because I use some custom script to remove like the name of the zone, dungeon, the time, and all these faction stuff that I don't need to track. And this is literally what I said. There's LUA errors that pop up every now and then. The backend is kind of being held together with duct tape. By the way, I also recommend you install BugSec and BugGrabber. It helps you kind of declutter all the LUA errors. The point is, with a combination of that, you can actually get this minimap to look a lot squarish and cleaner. I won't run into how I do all the fancy hackery to get rid of the names. It's a bit too complicated for this video. I'm trying to make a script that makes it easier down the line for you folks when Midnight launches officially. Now, how do you position the minimap? You can go to edit mode. You can type /edit mode, no spaces, a single phrase. And then you can just move the minimap around like that, right? Click and drag like that, right? You can drag it wherever you want. And then you can also drag the buff bar so that this kind of aligns to the top right, something like that. Right, you kind of get the basics here. So that kind of declutters the top right. Instead of an ugly circle, you have something squarish. I do not know why, like from a UI design perspective, your screen is a square. Like, in order to make it flush to the edges, shouldn't it be a square? Okay, maybe it's just me. Okay, so it's finally starting to take shape, right? Let's also show you how to hide these things here. So /Domino's, keep thinking that we are ordering pizza when we say this phrase. Anyway, configure bars, and you can click on the menu here, right? And then what you do is go to fading, do the same thing. Fade out opacity to 0, right? Fade out opacity to 0. So I can mouse over to open my bags and access like the housing panel and all these fancy shenanigan stuff that you guys are used to. Okay, so everything is starting to take shape. And you might be wondering, why is your font different from mine? It's again some custom hackery that I won't go into detail. This video is too long as it is already. And there's definitely a simpler way to implement that down the line once other add-ons come online like shared media and all that. Once they come online, I think it'll be a lot easier to explain that. But right now, shared media doesn't work, so just take note of that. But I'm sure they'll fix it. I don't think it'll be broken when it comes to Midnight launch. Then the obvious one is the nameplates. Nameplates needs to be fixed. Plater is probably dead. I suspect everyone will be using this brand new nameplate add-on. It's called Platinator. So go ahead, install it. And once you install it, you can see my nameplates look like that. This is my own nameplate skin, right? But they come with their own default ones, like, which is, trust me, way
I didn't really see much of an issue with it though, right?
It allows you to customize stuff. It's super easy to customize as well. You just simply drag and drop stuff. So you can select this.
That's interesting,
and you
though.
can, you know, drag and drop it. Right? You can select the name. I can select the HP, the debuffs, the buff, and it's all just drag and drop. It's relatively easy to understand. And I won't go into detail because I think a lot of the features aren't finalized, but it gives me the necessary stuff to say, okay, I can now play this game without, you know, at least feeling like, oh man, the nameplates just are such an eyesore, you know? So that is what most people are using. And yeah, is what I'm using as well, Platinator. If you're wondering why your friendly nameplates are all like so ugly, for now I've chosen to hit them. Go to options, search for friendly, disable them. And this basically gets you the look that you see at the start of this video, right? Way cleaner. And then obviously there's some custom scripts that I run to, you know, hide all these zone buttons in my objective frame and, you know, hide all these like this ready check stuff and the party stuff. Anyway, all custom hackery, all possible. I'll make a more detailed video down the line, but this is just to give you a sense. If you go through the general steps in this video, you will be able to replicate a clean UI to the best of our abilities in the community so far, at least on Midnight Beta. So you can go in, you can enjoy the game, and somewhere down the line, I'm sure there'll be a solution for a nicer unit frame and party frames. But for now, at least you can play the game without having to scrub your eyes every hour. And again, this is my first Midnight UI video. It's not meant to be a guide as per all my UI videos. It's really meant to just tell you guys, okay, quick and dirty, install these add-ons. Here's how you quickly configure them. This is how you set them up so that you can at least play the game, at least enjoy the beta experience. So that's the goal of this video. More to come down the line, I promise you. If you like this video, don't thank me. Thank all our amazing Patreon subscribers and YouTube members for keeping
Okay, so I have to download Domino to be able to fix my spell bars. But at the same time, I don't think it fixes all of my issues. I don't mind the spells bars as much. He still kept the utility cooldowns or the essential cooldowns or whatever he kept. So then, because he said there's no fix for that. I do kind of like what he said about the spell bars, though. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're about to try something off the wall. I just want to see. Okay, first off, we're gonna change action bar 1. Action bar 1 pisses me off because it doesn't make any sense why we can't do certain things. So, what I'm gonna do, let's. We're gonna make action bar 3. We got 212. We're gonna do 2 and 12. Cool. And we're gonna make that horizontal. I was just thinking about this. I need to do this on retail as well, but this will take a minute to do. I don't know if I want to download Dominoes because I don't think it fixes my problems, and I feel like it's a lot of work for something that doesn't fix my problem completely. It's like a prayer and a hope that Blizzard gives us more options for editing, right? You need to download it so you can order pizza. You know, Domino's does sound good. Oh, dude. Let me move this closer because... Do I want... Okay. How do I want to edit this? Right now, those... I don't really care. Can we... Another thing, we need to be able to uncheck the objective tracker. Like, what? I hate the objective tracker. I don't want it there. I don't know why I had to download an add-on on retail to get rid of it. It makes no sense. Anyways, rant's over. What size do we have? So if we hide it, there's no way for me to see it. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Objective tracker needs to be gone. It needs to go away for good. I do wish we had like a option right here for making it where if I moused over it, kind of like he did with Domino's. That'd be kind of cool. But I do think that their mini map is weird. I don't quite understand why they have it that way. Why it's a circle. No, no, no. Oh, actually, hold on, wait 1 second. I need to change this. Okay, cool. Now. Yeah, I really don't need my spells, right? We'll do in combat though. Yeah, I think we're gonna do Z. Actually, wait. This is what I want to do something else. Oh wait. That's my bad. Oopsies. Oopsies poopsies. So we're gonna save that. Now we're gonna separate this. Yeah, I'm setting up. So I'm wondering if I should just move a lot of my other stuff over here, right? Make these always visible for now. Like, I don't see an issue with it, right? Because I can use my abilities here, and then I can just have, like, all my other little stuff here, to be honest. Move everything over there. Like, I can keep my normal abilities here, but I'm like, why do I need my defensive here? My defensives don't need to be that spaced apart, right? I can honestly probably move any of my... Oh, not that one. Where's the other one? Do. Impeding rod. That's what it was. Let's switch those. Because imagine I only had the 12 buttons, right? Like right here. Or something close to it. Not just the 12. Maybe... Sucks because I don't want to... I mean... Put that there. Put that there. Comp, I don't really know what I'm going to do with yet. I feel like Typhoon would have to be part of Vortex, so I could do like S and Shift S or something. Probably Shift S for Vortex and then S for Typhoon. That might make it easier. I just got to figure out... I'm doing 5. I still do 5. I do 5 on Stampeding Roar and 6 on Dash. So if I'm gonna do that, hold on. I'm thinking of things. So Rip I normally have on 1 because I keep Primal Wrath on 6 on my mouse. And I'll just use Rip when I only have a single target because that's not hard for me to click. Now, kind of crazy thinking about this. Like, how much room I could have if I don't have anything there, right? Because then I'd be able to like, kind of like something similar to this, right? And
How are you?
that wouldn't be that bad. That's very thin. I could have like a bar here with the cooldowns. And if I wanted to, I could even move this up still, right? Because at the end of the day, I do want the cooldowns right here. That's even less spells, which gives me more room to see. Hey, I appreciate you did help me. Appreciate that follow as well. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for being here. The only thing I was thinking of is I want stuff to be kind of in order, right? So my 2 in retail is now useless, right? Because they got rid of the ability I used it for. What did I use 3 for? I think 3 I was using. That does open up my 2 button now that they got rid of it. Someone gave me a sub to you, so thank them. Hey, I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate all the support. Highly appreciative of it. What was my 3? My 3, I think I had removed corruption, right? Which helps more Mythic Plus than anything. Now that I have 2 available, 2 was a part of my original rotation. Wait. Hold on, wait. Now I'm confused. Hold on. Why does... This is causing a problem now. This is causing a major problem. Okay, what's on my brain? This moves the bar 1 changes abilities based on what form I'm in. And that is not okay. So I might need bar 1 to be here regardless. So I'm glad that I figured that out now. Because beforehand, if I would have gotten everything set up, I would have been upset. I don't know why it does that though. That's... I want it to change, but I wish I could choose for it to change based on, you know? Okay. Let's move all this back then. Not all of it, sorry. Just let's move the spells back to bar 1. Let me fix this actually. 100, 2, and horizontal. Save. So I originally just wanted to switch it because I can't make it invisible, but I don't need to make it invisible because the spells I can since I'm gonna have more room to see. That's great. So I'm not hurt about it. Yes, my skull. Yes. So I'm not too picky about that right now, to be honest. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do with Action Bar 2 yet. But for I'm gonna move all these over here real quick. Might even switch that right there. Wait, what? Okay, yeah. Okay. I think we're back on track. Sorry. No, we're not. What we're about to do is I'm gonna bring 2 back over here because I have to fix the forms properly again. Okay. Now we're done. Cool. Okay, we're putting the action bar back up there. And we're saving. Right now we have this. With that being said, we want all of these. I'll put that there. I feel like that's beneficial, right? I'll put that there. Okay, that's gonna be annoying. Where's the damage meter? I kind of enjoy that damage meter. That damage meter kind of like makes my brain it like scratches my brain. That's nice. Okay, they haven't put it in the game yet, but boy, does it need to be in there. All right. I think Rebirth and Revive can be on there. Soothe can be on a different one. We can do Day Painting Roar and that one. Okay, I know what I was looking at. Because it shit's in my way and it's annoying. HUD. Get the HUD tooltip thing out of my face, bro. Okay. Well, I can't see the freaking spells, bro. I'm over here spazzing out. I think I was gonna do R, and then Typhoon would be that. So that would Typhoon would be S. Vortex would be Shift S. Then I'll do Soothe on 2, I guess, because I don't really have much else to put there. My 4 is that, and this. We'll do those 3 in a row. That works out good. Let me use the restroom real quick. Be right back. All right. So, whew. I think that's everything. Oh, I got regrowth. Yeah. Okay. I think that is everything. We're going to quick keybind mode. Okay. So rip is 1. That's going to be 2, 3, 4. G, 5, 6, D, Z, R, S, and Shift S. Okay. Now, F, A. Oh, let's do mounts. It doesn't matter which one, but I'll just put that and then D. Can I just put repair? No. I don't remember what it's called. Yak. Is that one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. And then, quick keybind. So we'll do C. Shift C, I guess, right? I think that's what I was doing. I think that was the normal one. Okay, so I think for this, I'm gonna do Shift B for the buff. It's kind of out of the way, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a buff. Rebirth, I'm gonna do Shift Space because I can do mouse over with that, and then that'll make it easier to. The problem I have is like clicking and then having to click on Rebirth kind of sucks. I think that's huge though. That's pretty huge. I have T and X. I don't remember. I think X is my this health stones. The cookies. T is me to put innervate on my focus target. And I can just make anybody my focus target. Which is fine. So I won't worry about changing that one. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let me screenshot these. Okay. We screenshot, and then we might make some changes to the live servers because yeah, you know what? Might as well just mess with it now because then I can go ahead and picture everything because the cell add-on and everything kind of huge, you know. My brain is working right now. I might as well keep making it work. Come on, load in. Load it. You just need to load it. My working brain started to die. Huh? I don't know what that means, but whatever. Okay. Okay, my stuff's a little bit different, right? Over here. Still had a spot open there. What is that? Oh, that's the pet bar. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Save and exit. Oh, shoot. Let's, before we get too crazy, let's do, raid test. Okay. Raid test. If I have to, I can move that later, but I don't feel like doing it right now. So we're gonna do this here, that there, right? Then we're gonna have this there, because I don't think that's needed. I think snap to elements. Okay. Now, I'm going to do action bar 5 because I want to... What's it at? Question. Toast. What does that mean? I don't know what that means at all. Okay. So 5 down here. Let's do always visible. I don't know what half of this crap is on there, so get rid of it all. We're just gonna have all the spells there. Because we're gonna have 2 for vertical here, right? Good God. Bro, imagine your chat was this huge. I'm just kind of curious. Go to trade chat. I think trade chat's dead. The same. Okay. Let's be serious here, people. I think I like it wider than I care about it being taller, right? I'm kind of okay with this. I don't think there's a whole lot for it to for me to block. To be fair. That's the crazy part is. Look at my bear form. Let's switch to Pharaoh so I can actually get my spells properly. I was like, why is my wild charge there? What the is this? Oh, I guess everything's over there now. Okay. Okay. So what I originally had though, or what I'm gonna do right now, technically, all my stuff is scattered. But we are going to change this. So we have that there, that there. Oh, that's my 3 is my... Wait a minute. Did they take away renewal in midnight? Is that what happened? I don't know if I'm happy about that. Hello, sir. Let's do that. Let's do this, 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 this. I don't really PvP on this guy anymore, so it's fine. We need this there. That's fine for now. And we do this and this. And don't need that. But we put that there and that. And this top part's all set. Cool. Now we put that there. We put this there. We put that there. We got this. What was this? Oh, it's Cyclone. I don't care about that. We'll do... Let's do a, do a Mythic Plus build. So we have Typhoon. And that was there. We don't need that there. I put Entangling Roots right there just because it becomes a spell, but that's literally it. Okay, that's fine, because we got it on 3. Now, to fix this, now we'll just do Shift S R Z 5 6 D G 1 2 3 4 Shift B F A C Shift C X is right there, and we do shift space for that. We want the stance bar here, that's fine. And we're gonna put H right here. That's fine. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't need it. I don't need the whispers. Don't whisper me. Oh, shoot. Get rid of that. I'll keep that for now. Get rid of that. So we need to get rid of bar 7 and 5 and 7. 5 and 7. We making it, boys. We making it. We're making it work. I still don't know what toasts is. I think the only thing I want to do is I want to put an energy bar somewhere. Or I just need to pay attention more to my energy bar. I don't know. Otherwise, I could just get rid of it. If I'm going to have a big one there, I don't need it. I could just have the health there. Put a bigger one here so when I look down at my combo points, I know. I think that works out great, though, right? Bro, if I can't click on the... Oh boy, geeks. I think it looks more solid. What's... I think it looks weird with the space, right? That's a bit better, though. I will say. All right. That is it for me, though, for right now. Probably going to stream a little bit later. Supposed to have raid, so we'll see how it goes. Appreciate all the subs, the follow. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day. Take it easy. Peace out. See you later.